Okay, excellent. So I guess what we'll do with the community, so we've been very transparent and honest with the community. We are on track to open Bombala on the 20th of December, but it is on that, waiting on the port to release the filtration system. As soon as we know if there's going to be delays, we're going to come back to the community and let you know. Now,
just be honest with us. Don't lie to us. Don't have the mayor saying, oh, we're waiting for the pumps to come because they're on the ship. Well, obviously, the pumps weren't on the ship. And don't lie to us now saying that the $500,000 is going to fix the pool by Christmas, because I cannot see that happening. And I just don't believe that. So don't lie to us. Just give it to us straight. Okay, sorry, Bombala, you can't have a pool for 3 years. Okay, we'll accept it. We'll go to the river or we'll go somewhere, but don't lie to us over it and try and think that we're stupid.
Tonight, in Bombala, a community is asking a simple question. How did it come to this? After years of delays and millions in public money, locals say they're being left with a pool that may be worse than the one they started with. There are concerns about safety, concerns about oversight, and growing concern that the people footing the bill haven't been properly heard. Some are now saying they would rather wait, even years, for a facility done right than accept something rushed and second-rate. The council has made its decision. The community is still waiting for answers. Here's what they had to say. Rhonda, welcome to the Monero Zone. Thank you for taking time out of your afternoon. Could you briefly tell us, are you happy with the way council has managed the Bombala pool situation?
Definitely not. No, Chris, no.
In what ways aren't you happy?
Well, they haven't communicated properly and clearly. I can see that perhaps their project management team have not kept the council laws up to date with what's happening, because we've been left with a bit of a schmozzle. That we can't use the pool as it is at the moment, despite what council says.
Are you suggesting that perhaps the new pool design might be actually worse than what was there previously?
From what I've seen on video and from what Paul has told us, I believe so, yes.
In what ways is it worse?
The edge of the pool from where the gutter is has been raised up to 400 mils. Now, as a swim teacher who's teaching kids to grab monkey walk and then we teach them to get out, 400 mils is a long way for their, not mils, millimetres it would be, is a very long way for their little arms to reach up and try and get themselves out of the pool. The finish of the pool, from what I've seen and what I've heard, is very rough. So if you're teaching them to elbow, tummy, knee, they're going to have multiple cuts and not going to want to get out of the pool. So it's going to be very hard for little kids, even people with adults, to get out of the pool if they can't get to the steps. And we won't even go about disability access, because there's none.
Wow, 400 mils, that's almost half a metre.
Yep. And then also as a lifeguard, not that we've had to, but if ever we had to have anyone on a spinal board, my fear is that we would have no issues getting them on the spinal board, but then getting them out of the pool with that extra height is going to be very hard. Because if you've got someone on a spinal board, you're basically lifting a dead weight, and dead weight in water is very hard.
Wow, so what would you think council should do at this stage?
I think council ought to listen to what the community have asked for, which is to have an independent review assessment of the pool as is by someone who builds pools and knows pools, to either validate council and say, hey council, you're right, this pool does meet yada 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 compliance standards, or actually there's a lot of work to be done. I think if we started from that and they just did that, not knowing how much it would cost, say $5,000, it's going to be $5,000 well spent, because then we all know where we're up to.
That makes a lot of sense to have a pool expert come in and to analyse the design.
Yeah.
Where would you like council to move on from here?
To get that, to rescind the motion, to rescind the vote that happened the other day. It's all well and good for council to say, look, we're just going to fix it, because we know very well that once it's done, they're not going to touch us with a 40-foot pole. And I will add that if this was Jindabyne, we wouldn't be here having this conversation. I don't care what council says. I'm pretty sure we wouldn't be. They need to have it assessed, and we need to be honest and then consult with the community again as to what the community was actually asking for.
Some would say that council's already consulted with the community. How do you take that?
Well, the consultation that I can remember from the pool was about couple of weeks before we shut, if that. They apologised for not being there too early. It was, this is what you're getting. And we went, well, we type of would love a wet edge, like, that's best. Can we aim for that? And we'd like the filter shed, chem shed moved down 5-10 metres because it's just an eyesore. And we were told at that meeting, that would delay the project. So that was the community consultation that we had.
Wow, it just sounds so incredible that it's been so long that Bombala's been waiting for a pool. There's been so much expense put in, and you're ending up with a worse outcome than what you started with.
Definitely. It's really sad because, the pool for us in this town is, you've got health and well-being. You've got that aspect of the pool. It's also very social, to catch up with people at the pool. Pool usage has increased in the last couple of years. It's not the hub, but it's definitely a hub in summer where you've got parties, you've got swimming club, you had more lap swimmers. It's a vital part of the town. And council ought to take note that if we're going to get the rail trail, we need a pool that's nice to attract people, that they can come and go, yeah, we'll have a swim after we've done our so many kilometres ride. A pool is something that attracts people to towns.
Rhonda, Stewart, thank you very much for your time. Christie, it's a pleasure to meet you. You're a Bombala local, is that right?
Yes, born and bred.
And what's your take on the current pool situation?
I think it's disgraceful. I just am very disappointed that council is willing to go ahead with the quality of what we've got, and I just think it's disgraceful.
In what ways do you think council could have improved the pool situation?
I just think they didn't have their finger on the pulse. They should have been down here. They should have been keeping an eye on the progress, and they didn't. And that's why it's in the mess that it is.
What's your main source of dissatisfaction with the council decision regarding the pool at the moment? Is it the design? Is it the way they've handled the project?
Yeah, everything, all of the above. How they've handled it, the design, we just always get second best.
Second best compared to
Ginger vine.
What would you like to see happen at the Bombala pool?
I think that they just need, like Rhonda said, they need a pool consultant to come in and they need to assess the whole project. There's just so many issues with it that could cause harm to our kids, and no one is going to want to bring their kids here because they're of the risk of them getting hurt.
I believe one of the reasons that some councillors may have wanted to push ahead was that they didn't want to slow the project down, that they wanted to push ahead quickly.
That's all good and well, but at the risk of what? A child drowning or a child getting cut and injuries occurring? That's a no-brainer.
Is there anything that you would like the community or the council to be aware of?
No, I don't think so. I just think that council need to take accountability for their stuff up, and they need to fix it. We deserve better.
Great. Thank you very much for your time, Christie.
No worries. Thank you.
Tracey, thank you very much for coming onto the Monero Zone. You're a Bombala local, is that right?
Yes, that's right. Been here 40 odd years.
And what's your involvement with the pool?
I'm a lap swimmer. Yep, every season when I can, when there's a pool to be swum in.
And for how long haven't you been swimming now?
Oh, for the last 18 months since they started stuffing around with the pool, I suppose, would be the main answer. As soon as they turn the water off, we're all out.
And recently, council decided to push ahead with the current design on the pool. Is that a satisfactory outcome for you?
Absolutely not. Very, very disappointing in our council. They've let this town down terribly. Not the first time that it's been done, but this is one of the worst mistakes they've made. And unfortunately, to sit with a councillor in a meeting in our local bakery and find out that she's gone exactly against everything that was said in that meeting is the most disappointing part of what's been done.
And Tracey, what are some of the elements that you're most grieved by in this situation?
Pretty much the lack of communication from the council, the lack of interest in listening to what the local constituents have to say. And I'm hoping our local constituents will speak when it comes time to vote next time, and we can get rid of this council that we have, because they're just hopeless. Time to demerge, unfortunately, and I'm sure we're not the only town in the area that's thinking the same way, because we're all being let down in a similar fashion.
And when you say that council could have improved their communication, what do you mean specifically?
They could have bothered to speak to people like the swimming clubs, the lap swimmers, the people in town who use the facilities. They didn't do any of that. They can communicate with a envelope to say that you owe $25 on your rates, but they can't ask us what we want to hear in regard to our pool and our facilities in town. Very much the poor cousins in our area, and we deserve better than what we've been given.
And what would you want to see council do from here on?
A little bit more honesty. Don't come and sit with us and talk to us and ask our opinion if you're not going to take that opinion on board and you're going to go in the opposite direction. It's an absolute disgrace.
And which direction would you like council to take right now?
I'd like them to take the sensible direction and get this pool to a facility that is safe for our children and our grandchildren to use. As it is, we've had a season of kids not learning how to swim. We're going to have another season. We're happy to wait a third season if that means that we can get this pool to a facility that is good enough for this town to have for a long-term vision, not just for the next 12 months until they've got to patch it up and fix it again.
And what does that physically look like? What does a good, safe, usable pool look like for you?
Exactly the same as it looks for what the council was shown. A pool that's got a water edge to it that we can safely get people out on spine boards, etc. if we have a problem. We wouldn't be needing extra people to be in there as lifeguards because the pool could be seen from one position point in the zone. So it's just to us, it's what we've asked for. We've not asked for anything more than what is safe for our kids, particularly for our kids. There's nothing in this town for our children other than this for the summer months and a bit of sport. And yes, there has been money spent on some of the sporting facilities through funding. Why can we not find that same funding for this pool?
And how would you respond to the comment that we just want a pool, let's just get this done straight away?
I would say listen to the people that are talking to you. Running ahead with a waste of money is just good money after bad. We've already seen how much good money we have wasted in the last 6 months. Let's not do that again.
Tracey, thank you very much for your time. Was there any other comment you'd like to add?
No, unfortunately, there's not a lot else can be said until our councillors start to listen to what the people of Bombala have to say.
Would you support Bob Stewart in him wanting to get that wet edge, to get that better design for the community?
Yes, I would have to say I'm very impressed by the fact that Bob listened to what was being said. Originally, he wasn't of that opinion, but he came and he listened and he took it on board, as did the other 3 councillors that stood with him, and I stand with them in the fact that we need to push on and get what this town deserves.
Thank you so much for your time, Tracey.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you, anonymous Bombala resident, for coming onto the Monero Zone. Are you happy with the way council has handled the Bombala pool situation?
No.
In what way do you think they could have handled it better?
I think they should have handled it better by putting on a proper swimming pool professionals to build the swimming pool and not try and do it on the cheap. And now they're talking about band-aiding it up and they're keeping us in the dark. They're not letting us know what's going on, like 100% what's going on. They're just telling us what they want us to hear.
And what do you think they're hiding or they're not being fully open about?
Like the pool down here, I haven't seen it, but I've heard a lot of the construction of the new pool is not up to scratch. And there's a lot of sharp edges and the steps aren't very good and the tiles don't meet the cement and all this stuff that I haven't seen myself, but I've heard a lot and I've seen some videos of it. And I just think that they need to be a bit more honest, and either we shut the pool for 3 years and we get a proper pool that will promise us, because we're going to get something worse than what we already had. And the pool before was okay. I've been a swimming teacher down there for 25 years and the pool was okay then. It was suitable. It got us what we needed. But now to upgrade and do the modern pool, they should do it properly from all the way. Shut it for 3 years if they have to and do it properly. Don't promise us a pool now and then they're going to fix it in 5 or 6 years' time. That may never happen.
And do you think your views are reflective of how the region of Bombala feel at the moment?
Yes. All the children now swimming in the river. A lot of the parents take their kids to Bombala or to, I think it's Berridale. To Berridale. Taking them out of town to do some swimming, the swimming lessons. So, the swimming club, we have some really good swimmers here, but the kids can't practice. So we just have to put up with it and wait until they actually fix it for us. We're prepared to wait.
And if you could say something to the council or councillors, what would that be?
That would be, don't rush it, don't band-aid it, fix it properly, like you promised us, and otherwise you should have left it as it was. And we were quite happy how it was. Should have left it how it was, and just be honest with us. Don't lie to us. don't have the mayor saying, oh, we're waiting for the pumps to come because they're on the ship. Well, obviously, the pumps weren't on the ship. And don't lie to us now saying that the $500,000 is going to fix the pool by Christmas, because I cannot see that happening. And I just don't believe that. So don't lie to us. Just give it to us straight. Okay, sorry, Bombala, you can't have a pool for 3 years. Okay, we'll accept it. We'll go to the river or we'll go somewhere, but don't lie to us over it and try and think that we're stupid. And I think that all the councillors need to come and have a look at the pool and view it themselves, so they know. I know some have looked at it, and Narelle Davis says, oh, I wouldn't take my grandchildren to that Bombala swimming pool. Well, what gives them the right to say, I will just Band-Aid it and I can take my kids to the swimming pool? So if it's not good enough for her, obviously the pool is not up to scratch. So I think they need to all come and have a look at it and tell us, okay, Bombala, you won't have a pool for 3 years? We'll accept that. But don't just put a Band-Aid on it and say silly things and think we're stupid, because we're not.
Dee, thank you for coming onto the Monero Zone. I really appreciate your opinion on these issues.
Hi, Chris. Thank you. Thanks for interviewing me today.
So what's your take on the current Bombala pool situation? Are you happy with the way council's handled the matter?
A little bit disappointing in the sense that I believe, my own opinion, is that the project should have been properly overseen throughout, and we shouldn't have had this problem to start with.
Okay, let's start. What's the problem that you see right now?
Problem that we see is that we have two swimming pools, Bombala and probably Cooma, that is completely worse off than when we first started. These need to be addressed, and I don't think a Band-Aid fix is going to make it any better. I think that I've been asking people around the town what their opinions is, and most of the people are saying, we don't want a Band-Aid, we want it shut down maybe a year or two, and get it fixed and get it right properly for the safety of our children. And in the meantime, that the Bombala people should be able to use the other facilities within the Shire for free.
I'm just curious, how could the situation be worse when I believe the council spent already somewhere between $4 to $5 million to get these pools upgraded?
Yeah, exorbitant amounts of money. I really don't believe a quick fix. Yeah, they shouldn't have spent that much money. And like I said, if it was properly managed to start with, we may not be in this predicament. If they were being overseen, the project was properly managed and properly, with a project manager and overseen with the right people doing the right job, this would not have been the outcome, unfortunately.
And what would the ideal outcome look like for you?
Ideally, fix the mess that they've made, and start from scratch, clean slate, start from scratch. Regardless of how much it's going to cost, we need to fix it. The people of the town, both Cooma and Bombala, deserve a proper swimming pool for the kids.
But what if that meant that you might not have a pool for 1, 2, 3 seasons?
I'm pretty sure the people will put up with that as long as we've got the proper facilities to start with, correct and safe, and for all the kids. It's difficult to say that the swimming club won't be able to use it and the kids won't be able to use it. However, we need to get it right, and we need to get it right. We should have had it right to start with. We should not be in this predicament.
Where do you think it all fell apart?
I guess we dropped the ball. Council dropped the ball with overseeing the project to start with. And I don't believe that taking money from council, from the ratepayers of the Shire to fix these problems, they're an issue. If I was building a swimming pool in my backyard, I'm sorry, but it'd be my own, unfortunately, it'd be my own predicament that I'm in, and I would have to find the funds to fix it. And I don't believe it's up to all the ratepayers to fix this problem. Yeah.
Is there any particular council staff member or councillors that have been responsive to these inquiries you've made?
No, not really. No one's got back to me. I have made a couple of phone calls, but no one's got back to me. I believe the town, both Cooma and Bombala, need to put in a petition to show exactly their feelings, whether they're with just fixing it Band-Aid or closing it for a couple of seasons and doing the job properly from the start, from scratch, employing the right people to do the right job.
Dee, just before we finish, would you like to add anything else?
Yeah, I was just hoping that the Bombala community could come together, maybe with a petition or some a note to council to reflect on what their thoughts are, whether we should fix it for a band-aid fix or close it for a couple of seasons and do it properly. And I really believe that the people within the Shire have the right to voice their opinion on this costly balls up, I suppose. Yeah.
And are you satisfied with the level of communication? Do you think council has been forthright and truthful with how the situation has unfolded?
Absolutely not, because if we were, we wouldn't be in this predicament to start with.
In what way do you think they haven't been truthful or forthright?
I guess they didn't know themselves, but I think they should have employed the right people to do the right job. That's the end of the line. And this $558,000 that we have that could fix both pools, I'm sorry, but that's not going to be enough money to fix any one or the other. We're going to need far more than that. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Caitlin, welcome to the Monero Zone. Are you happy with the way council has handled the Bombala pool situation?
Absolutely not.
In what way aren't you happy?
Oh, just the way that they've gone about it with various different things, with the people that they've contracted to do it, that not being paid and everything, just the long wait for it, and now they're talking about just band-aiding it so we can use it. And it just seems like a waste of money at the moment.
Now, you've touched on something that no one else has brought up so far, which is the contractors. What's your take on the contract situation?
From what I've read of how it all went about, they never should have been employed in the first place with their criminal past and things like that. It just feels like it wasn't looked into very well and it was rushed through.
And do you have a point of view on whether the contractors that haven't yet been paid should be paid?
I think that they should, because they're all... I'm trying to think. The ones, because they've been there and they've been doing the work, I do feel that they should have been paid for that. But that money should have already been paid by now. It should have all been done as they were going along. They shouldn't have to wait.
And in regards to the decision to push ahead with the current pool design, which I believe has a 40 mil or 400 mil drop, is that something that you're happy with?
They originally stated that it was going to be all level, so that's how I feel it should be. They should stick to their original design of how it was supposed to be all level with the overflow and everything else.
And how does this pool affect you directly?
It means that I can't take my siblings swimming. It means I can't go swimming for sport myself and everything else. And I just watch so many of the kids in town just be so disappointed by it all.
And I suppose council's faced with a difficult decision of whether they push ahead with the current design, just get it done, and then you'll hopefully have a pool ready by next season, or would you rather wait for something better?
I would rather wait and have them do it all properly, not just band-aid it. With band-aiding, there's a lot of risk of somebody getting hurt. And then, 2-3 years down the track, they turn around and go, oh, we're going to close it all again and fix it all. Whereas I'd rather just wait the 3-4 years and have it all done properly.
And if there was something you could tell councillors or council staff, what would that be?
Make sure that you actually look into what you're doing and make sure you're doing it properly and following everything, making sure you've got the right people there to do it as well.
Thank you so much for your time, Caitlin.
I'm not a swimmer. I'm not a strong swimmer. I would not take my grandchildren to the pool at this stage, to the Bombala pool, because I could not save them if I had to.
Councillor Elliott, Councillor Williamson, Councillor Stewart, Councillor Rose. All those against. Councillor Davis, Councillor Rooney, Councillor Hopkins, Councillor Higgins, Councillor Hannah.
Didn't you argue for the motion?
Thank you. It's been lost.
I can vote whichever way I like.
Thank you, councillors.
Okay, excellent. So I guess what we'll do with the community, so we've been very transparent and honest with the community. We are on track to open Bombala on the 20th of December, but it is on that, waiting on the port to release the filtration system. As soon as we know if there's going to be delays, we're going to come back to the community and let you know. Now with the Cooma one, we are on track to open end of the year, hopefully around that 26th of December. But again, that is on that port. So, and if that's any delayed, then obviously the pool's delayed. So we're, making sure that we will have the pools fingers crossed, open by the end of this year. But if anything more happens with that port, all that filtration system, we'll definitely come back to you early December with a further update and another time frame. But pretty exciting news. We're going to have swimming now by the end of the year for the Bombala and Cooma community. So thank you so much for everything your team has done. It has not been easy, and there's been a lot of challenges around. But I thank you for all the work, and I know the communities are going to absolutely appreciate you guys over those school holidays. So keep in touch. We will make sure that we keep that flow of going next month, and have those pools open ready for school holidays. Chat soon.